Yes, sir.
I have a question for either you or Dr. Guerrero in regards to these 6 students. I spoke with a number of kids that afternoon, and a few of them, to my surprise, that were African American, didn't think a whole lot about this. I wouldn't go so far as to say that they defended these 6 girls, but they said that they know these girls, and these girls are certainly not racist, that they're very friendly with African Americans, what have you. So I ask you, as two people who may know them a little bit, when you found out it was these 6 girls that were involved, did it surprise you? And what type of girls are these 6 girls?
Absolutely. I think to do it justice, I would like to respond as well as Dr. Barella, more recently as their principal. The new role I have as assistant superintendent, one of my responsibilities is student affairs and discipline, and the professional nature in which I handle all discipline situations. Given the information that we had, this is shocking. The same shock value that everyone else had in our city, in our country, who observed it, it was a shock value. We were able to, Dr. Brella and I, as we would do any other discipline, we met individually with each of the students. This is a part of the process of discipline, the way we handle all things. Students were able to draft an incident report and return that back to Dr. Barella, but also take us through their individual perspective of what occurred. Therefore, that information was given to us along with their parents who were also present. So they were able to listen and learn and ask their daughters questions as well, as of course it was new to them and time had definitely swept by very quickly. So we gathered that information and then we were able to process and reflect. Yes, as I was the principal here and also currently one of my roles as the district athletic director, I know a few of the girls, not necessarily on a personal level, but I know a few of the young ladies, and most definitely did not believe or conceive or predict that they would create such a visual that would be as hurtful as it has become. So I can say to you that that was definitely not within their character, not within the discipline, not within any conversation, not with any forethought that these young ladies would be anyone that would have created the word that they spelled that particular morning. Dr.
Were
Burrell.
they remorseful?
Adamantly remorseful. They were exceptionally and genuinely remorseful, and so were their families. Dr. Burrell, do you want to speak to their character?
If I may follow through on something
Yes.
with what Dr. Battle said, I think that points to the challenge that we have in society is that people are becoming desensitized to a word that packs a lot of meaning. And they're becoming desensitized for a variety of reasons. Part of it is what is happening in the music industry, what's happening on TV, what's happening in the film industry, but also look at our political leaders and those running for political office. More and more so, we're losing sight of certain words that pack such a strong punch that it points to a bigger issue, and that is the desensitization of something that we all know of a certain age that is filled with hate and that is filled with racism. And so that points to a larger problem.
Another question too, given that, I would think that by this time kids would have known, they would have known the historical origin of that word and the circumstances behind it. What is the school district doing in terms of teaching them the history behind this?
Well, I think when you look at how one is educated, it's a partnership. It's in the home. It's in our community. It's in the school. And I think that we all have a responsibility and a role that play in this whole dynamic. And I think you had a question?
And if I could, I think it's important, Dr. Baca, we talked about this. I need to give you some information that's not just soundbite, so that you know what happened that morning. I think that might help you to solidify what Dr. Baca and the girls and Dr. Barella were saying, but it's very important that I ask that as I tell you what occurred that morning, the full picture that I'm going to paint, this reel, is going to help you to know what it is we need to do given this specific situation. I think we all can agree that the N-word is not appropriate and that it should not be spoken, read, written. We recognize that. So again, I'm going to ask, as you all are in your realm and expertise as reporters in journalism, that you ride with me as I paint you a picture of that morning. As you have seen and heard, there is, and we've been very customary in schools, and more specifically Desert Vista, to have a senior panoramic picture. Within that time period, there was a positive phrase, and I keep forgetting the phrase, which was?
Best you've ever seen, class.
Best you ever seen, class of 2016. And as this phrase was organized and approved to be seated in front of all senior class, there are asterisks between each word so that the letters just aren't blending. So the asterisk separated the words so you would be able to see the phrase, the positive phrase, which was approved. After I heard Mackenzie say, is when there was what I call, to give you a picture, a game of human Scrabble. Lots of letters to make up that phrase. Seniors, assembly, 800 plus seniors, excited, shirts that were created for the phrase, not specific for the letters or word that was created. They were creating lots of words, very positive words with the letters. At one point, the students decided to make this word for a friend, a boyfriend, who happened to be, give me the nod, African American, who in their world, as so eloquently spoken, have used it not in the same connotation in which we all know is inappropriate. Still doesn't make it right. The word was casually used in music, in written language, in movies. That's the presence of what they were thinking. I'm going to keep saying, still doesn't make it right. So we're not defending it, we're telling you what happened that morning. They take a photo, young lady gives her phone to someone, maybe known, not known, acquaintance, spare, as we all have done. Take a picture of us, quickly. Letters were arranged for this really quickly. Not everyone were friends in close proximity. Again, these students have come from the same schools. Majority of the kids all know each other forever, whether or not they're friends as friends, let's go out every night, or friends as acquaintance, because I know you're at Desert Vista and you're a senior. Letters were put together, and all of a sudden, hey, knowing that this young student asked to do it, knowing her, who she's dating, and what the comfort level was of a few of the students knew what the word was that was actually being created. One specifically just had the right letter, did not have any idea what word was being created. Quickly arranged snapshot that went to Snapchat. Thus, the happy faces and smiling, inappropriate perception of a derogatory slur. Snapchat sent to a circle of friends. One friend screenshots, sends to more friends. Too late. Social media takes it and goes. So, doesn't excuse, I'm not defending the nature and the hurt behind the word. It wasn't from the perspective of what we've seen so far as let's organize beforehand, create this word to be hurtful and racist because we want to hurt everyone and anyone that happened to see it. Did it still result in the same consequence? Unfortunately, yes. So to normalize the young ladies, fairness to your question, that's the story that occurred. So I say to you that we will continue to follow the processes necessary for this particular incident. At the same time, what's consistent and constant is for all of us, educators, parents, as Dr. Baca clearly stated, to be able to do what our students are teaching us, to spread the word, to end the N word. We've got to be bold enough to do that. And we need the media and press to help us to do this on behalf of our kids that are watching us.